My friend, let me tell you something. Last night, I couldn't sleep. You know why? Because I received an email from a young entrepreneur. He said, Jack, I've been trying for 5 years, but nothing works. Should I give up? 5 years. You know what I told him? I said, you're not failing because you're unlucky. You're failing because 3 habits are eating your brain like cancer, and you don't even know you're sick. When I was your age, I was nobody. Today, people know Alibaba. But I discovered something when I was rejected by KFC. Yes, Kentucky Fried Chicken didn't want me. I discovered that poor people and rich people don't have different opportunities. They have different habits. And today, I'm going to tell you 3 habits that kept me poor for 35 years. If you're brave enough to hear the truth, stay with me. If not, go back to your comfortable life and keep wondering why nothing changes. You know, when I was an English teacher making $12 a month, I had a student. Brilliant boy. Very smart. He could speak better English than me. Every day, he would come to me with new ideas. Teacher Ma, I want to start a translation business. Teacher Ma, I want to open a school. Teacher Ma, I want to do import, export. Beautiful ideas. You know what he's doing today? 20 years later, still thinking, still planning, still talking about his ideas. This is the first habit that destroys your mind. You think thinking is working. No, thinking is not working. Thinking is thinking. Working is working. When I started Alibaba, everybody said I was crazy. Jack, what is internet? Jack, Chinese people don't need e-commerce. Jack, you don't know technology. You think I had a perfect plan? No, I didn't even know how to turn on a computer, but I started anyway. We failed so many times in the first years. Our website was ugly. Our service was terrible. But we were doing, not dreaming. I remember my first time in Seattle, 1995. My friend showed me a computer. I was scared to touch it. I thought, if I press something wrong, I need to pay money. But then I searched for China on this thing called internet. Nothing came up. Nothing. You know what most people would think? Oh, internet doesn't work for China. You know what I thought? Opportunity. Because when something doesn't exist, it means you can create it. But creating requires doing, not thinking. Today, young people send me business plans. 100 pages. Beautiful graphs. Market analysis. I ask them, how many customers do you have? When they say, we're still planning. Planning, always planning. You know what? While you're planning, someone with a terrible plan is already making money. While you're thinking, someone stupid is already successful. Let me share a secret with you. When I was young, I applied for jobs 30 times and got rejected. Harvard rejected me 10 times. 10. You know what I did? After each rejection, I went home and looked at myself in the mirror. But here's the mistake. I wasn't looking at myself. I was looking at everyone else. This is the second habit that destroys your mind. You live in other people's stories instead of writing your own. Every day, you wake up and check what others are doing. Their success makes you depressed. Their money makes you angry. Their happiness makes you jealous. But you know what? Their story is not your story. When my friends were getting good jobs at banks, government offices, big companies, I was teaching English for $12. $12. They drove cars. I rode a bicycle. They bought houses. I lived in a small apartment. If I compared myself to them, I would have quit. I learned something important. You know what makes Alibaba successful? We never copy. Never. Because when you copy, you're always number 2. When you live in someone else's story, you're always a supporting actor, never the hero. Young people today, they see Mark Zuckerberg. They want to be Mark Zuckerberg. They see Elon Musk. They want to be Elon Musk. No, be yourself. I'm Jack Ma. I'm not good looking. I'm not tall. I failed at everything. But I'm Jack Ma, not trying to be Bill Gates. You know why I succeeded? Because while everyone was trying to copy American companies, I was building something for Chinese people. While everyone was looking at what others were doing, I was looking at what others were not doing. The third habit is the worst one. I call it comfortable cancer. You hate your situation, but you're too comfortable in your hate to change it. You know what I mean? You complain about your job every day, but you go back every morning. You complain about no money, but you never start a business. You complain about being single, but you never go out to meet people. You're comfortable being uncomfortable. When I quit my teaching job to start Alibaba, my wife cried. My parents said I was crazy. My friends said I was stupid. You know why? Because comfortable cancer feels safe. It's like a prison where you're the guard and the prisoner. You have the keys, but you won't unlock the door, because at least in prison, you get 3 meals a day. I met a taxi driver last year. He complained for the whole ride. Government is bad. Economy is bad. Rich people are bad. Everything bad, bad, bad. I asked him, how long have you been driving taxi? He said, 20 years. 20 years of complaining? I said, if you hate it so much, why don't you change? He said, Jack, you don't understand. I have bills to pay. Bills to pay. Everybody has bills to pay. But some people pay bills while building dreams. Others pay bills while building excuses. This man chose comfortable cancer. Every day, same route, same complaints, same life. He's not living. He's just not dead yet. You know what happened when we started Alibaba? 18 people in my apartment. I talked for 2 hours about my vision. When I finished, I asked, what do you think? 17 people said it won't work. Only one person said maybe. But here's what's important. We started anyway, because comfortable cancer would have been staying as an English teacher. Safe salary, safe life, safe death. No. I wanted dangerous life. I wanted to fail. Because when you fail, at least you know you're alive. When you're comfortable, you're already dead, just waiting for the funeral. Let me tell you something about Chinese entrepreneurs. You know what makes us different? We're not afraid of being called stupid. Americans, Europeans, they want to look smart. They want perfect business plans. They want to impress investors. Chinese entrepreneurs, we just start. We look stupid, we fail, we learn, we grow. When I first went to Silicon Valley to raise money, you know what they said? Jack, your English is terrible. Your business model is unclear. Your technology is weak. All true. But I said, yes, but I will improve. They laughed. Today, who's laughing? The habit of needing to be perfect before you start is killing you. Perfect is the enemy of good. Good is the enemy of started. Just start. I want to tell you about my grandmother. She never went to school, couldn't read. But she told me something when I was young that changed my life. She said, Jack, a fool who keeps walking will reach the destination before a genius who keeps planning. A fool who keeps walking. That's me. I'm not smart. Ask anyone who knows me. Jack Ma is not smart. But Jack Ma keeps walking. When smart people were analyzing the internet, I was building websites. When smart people were discussing e-commerce, I was selling products. When smart people were debating mobile payments, I was creating Alipay. Smart people think. Fools do. Be a fool. Right now, you're probably thinking, Jack, you're successful now. Easy for you to say. No. Let me remind you. Age 30. I was a teacher, making $12. Age 31. Failed first business. Age 32. Failed second business. Age 33. No money. Borrowed from friends. Age 34. Almost bankrupt. Age 35. Started Alibaba in my apartment. Age 40. People still called me crazy. Age 50. Finally some success. You see? 20 years of failure. But every failure killed one of these 3 habits. Every rejection made me stop thinking and start doing. Every mistake made me stop copying and start creating. Every crisis made me leave comfort and enter chaos. You want to know the truth about success? Success is not about being smart. I know many smart people who are poor. Success is not about having money. I started with nothing. Success is not about having connections. Nobody knew Jack Ma. Success is about destroying these 3 habits before they destroy you. Stop thinking. Start doing. Stop watching others. Start being yourself. Stop choosing comfort. Start choosing growth. You know what's funny? People always ask me, Jack, what's your secret? Secret? There's no secret. The secret is there's no secret. Just stop doing stupid things that everybody does. I remember when we were building Taobao to compete with eBay. eBay had billions. We had nothing. eBay had thousands of engineers. We had 18 people. eBay had experience. We had dreams. Everyone said we would die in 3 months. You know what I told my team? I said, if we die, at least we die standing up. If we fail, at least we fail trying. But if we don't try, we're already dead. We worked 20 hours a day. We slept in the office. We ate instant noodles every meal. Was it comfortable? No. Was it smart? No. Was it successful? Yes. Because we were doing while eBay was thinking. We were creating while eBay was copying. We were growing while eBay was comfortable. Today, young people come to me. They say, Jack, I want to be rich like you. I say, good. How many times have you failed this month? They look confused. Failed? I don't want to fail. Then, you don't want to succeed. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. But you can only fail if you try. You can only try if you stop thinking. You can only stop thinking if you start doing. You see the cycle? These 3 habits are connected. Break one, you break all. Keep one, you keep all. Let me tell you what I learned from being rejected by KFC. 24 people applied, 23 got the job. I was the only one rejected. The only one. You know what I thought that night? I thought, maybe I'm not meant to work for others. Maybe I'm meant to create jobs for others. That rejection broke my comfortable cancer. If KFC had hired me, I'd probably still be serving chicken today. Comfortable, safe, small. But they rejected me. And that rejection pushed me out of comfort into chaos. And in chaos, I found Alibaba. You're sitting there right now with dreams. I know you have dreams. Everybody has dreams. But dreams without action are just entertainment for your mind. Dreams with these 3 habits are nightmares waiting to happen. You think you have time? You think you can start tomorrow? You think you need more preparation? No. You know what you need? You need to be more stupid. Stupid enough to try. Stupid enough to fail. Stupid enough to believe you can do something that smart people say is impossible. When I was teaching English, I taught my students Shakespeare. You know what Shakespeare said? To be or not to be. But I tell you different. Not to be or not to be. The question is to do or not to do. Because being without doing is just existing. And existing is not living. Living requires doing. Living requires failing. Living requires failing. Living requires leaving comfort. Every morning, you have choice. Choose thinking or choose doing. Choose watching or choose working. Choose comfort or choose growth. Choose, choose, choose. But choose with action, not with thoughts. I want to share something personal. My biggest fear is not failure. I've failed so many times. Failure is like breakfast for me. My biggest fear is not trying. Because when you don't try, you don't fail. But you also don't succeed. You don't lose, but you also don't win. You don't fall, but you also don't fly. You're just there. Stuck, safe, dead. These 3 habits keep you in this place. This terrible place where nothing bad happens, but nothing good happens either. It's like being in a hospital on life support. You're not dead, but are you really alive? You know what makes me angry? Wasted potential. I see young people with brilliant minds doing stupid jobs. I see talented people living small lives. I see dreamers who only dream. Why? Because of these three habits. They think instead of doing, they watch instead of working. They choose safe instead of scary. Let me tell you something. Scary is good. Scary means you're growing. Comfortable means you're dying. When was the last time you did something that scared you? When was the last time you failed at something new? When was the last time you chose chaos over comfort? If you can't remember, you're already infected with these three habits. People ask me, Jack, what if I fail? I say, so what? You fail, you learn, you improve. You improve. You try again. You try again, you might succeed. But if you never try because you're thinking, watching, and staying comfortable, you definitely fail. 100% guarantee failure. At least when you try, you have a chance. Maybe small chance, but chance. These three habits give you zero chance. Zero. You're playing a game you've already lost. Here's what's going to happen. You'll finish listening to me. Feel motivated for 5 minutes. Then go back to your three habits. Your brain will say, Jack Ma is special. Jack Ma is different. Jack Ma is lucky. No, Jack Ma is just a fool who kept walking while smart people kept planning. Jack Ma is just an ugly man who kept trying while handsome people kept posing. Jack Ma is just a poor teacher who kept doing while rich people kept talking. The only difference between Jack Ma and you is I killed these three habits and you're still feeding them. But today can be different. Today, right now, this moment, you can make a decision. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not next year. Now, take out your phone. Delete social media apps. I'm serious. Delete them. Now, that's habit number 2, dying. Stand up from your comfortable chair and do one thing that scares you. Send that email. Make that call. Start that project. That's habit number 1, dying. Quit that safe thing that's killing you slowly. That job, that relationship, that city, whatever your comfortable cancer is. Quit it. That's habit number 3, dying. You think I'm crazy? Good. Be crazy too, because normal people have normal lives. And normal lives are controlled by these 3 habits. You want extraordinary life? Do extraordinary things. And extraordinary things start with killing ordinary habits. Stop thinking, start doing. Stop watching, start creating. Stop settling, start struggling. Because struggle with purpose is better than comfort without meaning. My friend, I'll leave you with this. When I die, I don't want to be remembered as the richest man. I don't want to be remembered as the founder of Alibaba. I want to be remembered as the teacher who taught people to destroy the habits that destroy dreams. These 3 habits killed more dreams than all the failures in the world combined. But you, today, right now, you can be different. You can be the fool who walks instead of the genius who plans. You can be the ugly duckling who tries instead of the beautiful swan who poses. You can be the poor person who does instead of the rich person who thinks. The choice is yours. But remember, not choosing is also a choice. The choice to stay the same. The choice to keep these 3 habits. The choice to die slowly instead of living boldly. I was nobody. Today, I'm somebody. Not because I'm special, but because I'm stupid enough to try, ugly enough not to care, and poor enough to have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose either. Except these 3 habits. Kill them before they kill you. Start now. Not tomorrow. Now. Because tomorrow never comes for people with these 3 habits. Only yesterday, repeated forever.